Today we're having a look at changing the font in Stitch Mastery charts. The software allows you to set the fonts used for the titles in your chart, also the row and column numbers and the actual lettering in the key entries. There are two different ways to change the font. You either have the edit font icon here in the icon toolbar, or edit and edit font in the main menu. So depending on the system you're using, this font dialog may look slightly different, but all the controls will be the same. So the different fonts on your computer are listed here, and of course if you download different fonts to your device you'll be able to then find them in this menu, or use the show more fonts option here to find them. And then you have font style, size, type of script and different effects including the colour. So let's just choose a noticeably different font to demonstrate, and we can make all the text purple. Click OK, and all of the items I mentioned before have changed. But you can also change the font for individual elements if you prefer. So it may be that you want to have your row and column numbers and your symbol descriptions in a clear font and your chart and key titles in something a bit more exciting. So you can do those individually, or you can select one item, hold down the Control or Command button on your keyboard and then select another. So I've selected both the key and the chart titles. And again, we'll open font, and I'm going to choose this just for something very noticeably different, and we'll make that red. And you can see that has changed those two items only and left the rest the same. And if it's the case that the default font in Stitch Mastery is not the one that you want to use for any of your charts, you can select a font to be used in all of your charts as the default, and you do that within your user appearance style sheet. So we come to Preferences, which on Windows, as I am using, is under Tools. If you're on a Mac, you'll find Preferences under the Stitch Mastery menu here at the top left. Open Preferences, and we've got the Style Sheets option, so you may need to click the drop down arrow here and open Style Sheets. So as you can see at the top there's the default appearance preferences, but I don't have a customised appearance preference for myself. So I'm going to duplicate the default and we'll call this Hannah Appearance Preferences. Ditto here. And here you can see we have two different options for setting a font. So default font, which will cover all of the items in your chart, and then default key and chart titles. So exactly as I've done just now, having a different font for your titles of your chart and key. So let's say I want for the numbering and so on Arial, and something a bit jazzier for the titles. Try this. So we're going to click Apply and Close, and I will set Hannah Appearance Preferences as the default here. Click Apply and Close again. The software hasn't changed my fonts just yet because I haven't told it that actually this current chart that I'm working in, I do want that new setting to be used. So we'll come to Diagram, Edit Diagram Properties, and the first tab that opens is the Appearance tab. So in the Style Sheet option we'll choose Hannah, and we're going to click Refresh Font of All Text because we've got all this text in here, and precisely what I want to do is to refresh that font to the new font. So I'm going to click Apply and then click OK. And as you can see, my fonts have all updated now.